everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my good friend Rachel Doyle here, CEO and founder of Glamour Gals. I'm excited to have Rachel here so she can share her story and also give you guys some great tips on how to make it in the nonprofit world. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Lauren. Thanks for having me.
I'm pretty sure that I read about Rachel somewhere and I reached out to her because, as you guys know, that's my style. And I said, basically, like, we should be friends. I think I've told this story before, but we went to a Starbucks and Rachel
It's like a blind date.
Yeah, it was like a blind date. Rachel shows up and looks so cool. Meanwhile, I was in my working from home days and I wore pink Victoria's Secret sweatpants that had pink on the bottom. But we met years ago and we've now actually become like real life friends. Tell your story. How did Glamour Gals come to exist, and what is it and what do you do?
Well, this is a really special year because we are 17 years old at Glamour Gals, and I actually started Glamour Gals when I was 17 years old. So I was a really involved high school student who loved to do community service, but I also loved fashion and beauty and makeup. And I thought, why can't I take my two passions and combine them? So the idea of Glamour Gals sort of came to me because my grandmother had passed away in a senior home that year, and I wanted to honor her. And I thought about, well, what about going into my local senior home and providing complimentary beauty makeovers and companionship and just spending time with the ladies like a beauty parlor?
How is it different from, today, from when you were 17?
I have a team and an office and a structure and an organization. I think when I started it back in the day, I don't know if you guys know what this thing is called, the Yellow Pages. I went into the Yellow Pages and started cold calling and pitching makeup companies to get involved and provide the products. So it was very much a grassroots effort. I think we like to keep that mentality today, even 17 years later, with a small team and all hands on deck. And now we're not just myself and 2 volunteers, we're now upwards of 2,000 volunteers in 17 different states, serving over 100 different communities.
Right. And what Rachel just said about the all hands on deck kind of morale is very true. I mean, whenever I go to a Glamour Gals event, she has everybody help and she is not afraid to ask. It's actually something that I admire about her.
Well, also, I think I have that confidence in asking because it's nothing I have not done myself. That is something in a nonprofit you'll get a lot, is you get to do a lot of different things. Right. And it starts with saying yes to helping someone do something.
What is your advice for someone who has an idea and has a cause that they're passionate about, but just doesn't really know where to go from there?
Research. It's wonderful that you have a passion for something, but if there's 20 other organizations that are out there doing that, unless you have a really unique angle on it, to join them and be an entrepreneur. Don't be afraid to be a part of someone else's team and help them elevate or reach more individuals, because although we're passionate about our work, good nonprofits that run efficiently and effectively get the work done.
What kind of people do you look for? What should someone be passionate about if they want to intern or work with Glamour Gals?
Well, when you first reach out, the most important thing is talk about our mission. Best thing to do is look at our website and see what we do. So tip number 1, be totally relevant. And also mention us in the cover letter, because if we get 100 cover letters and resumes and you don't talk about Glamour Gals or our mission, you're off the pile. What
other advice do you have for young people who want to start a career in the nonprofit world?
So after getting your foot in the door and being relevant, it's important to be professional. It doesn't matter if your team is 2 people or 200, being on time or even early is a great thing or a great way to stand out. Being professional in your correspondence. In a professional correspondence, unless you really know that person, it has to be full sentences that are well punctuated.
I like that advice. Just so everyone on YouTube knows, our team is standing behind the camera right now. Hey team, do you guys have any additional questions for Rachel on that?
Yeah, what kind of opportunities are available at a nonprofit for a college student that's watching this?
Good small nonprofits who operate well, you do cross paths, but for most of the time you are either working in direct service roles like organizing the volunteers or the people on the ground, or you have the fundraising side where you're trying to plan a fancy dinner on a 0 budget, so 100% of the proceeds goes to the organization, and being really creative.
And the fundraising is asking people for money.
Asking people for money in a really creative way, so it doesn't feel like you're asking, you're giving an opportunity. When people come to us and say, I want to get involved, I want to support support, finding out what they're passionate about and somehow putting our program into their daily life in a way that's relevant to them and makes them feel good about, you know, writing that check or supporting with those in-kind resources.
A lot of people think that you cannot get paid or you cannot work at a nonprofit because it's volunteer work, there's no money. So can you kind of debunk that myth?
Nonprofits do rely on a lot of unpaid volunteers, and we're very thankful and grateful for that support. If you want to get things done, you need someone to be accountable, sitting at a desk, ready to answer the phone or address that email on a consistent basis. So it's a little bit of the chicken and the egg, but we do have, you know, salaried staff. I do get paid for my job. There's a lot of talented, hardworking people in nonprofits, and they deserve more. And I hope that, you know, in this country we'll move towards appreciating and valuing them more. But at this point, you know, you go into it because it's more of like the day-to-day work that you do. And you can feel really proud at the end of the day that what you're doing is improving the lives of teens or seniors or in other organizations, curing a disease or rescuing people who need help. And I think that serves a lot as well.
Well, thank you. I think this advice was really helpful. So if anybody wants to get started in a nonprofit career today, I have an idea for you. You could intern for Glamour Gals, and we do post the Glamour Gals internships on Intern Queen, so we'll be sure to link their spring, summer, fall opportunities in the description box below. And if you have any questions for Rachel, well, where can they look for you online? On Instagram?
So at GGFounder, you can reach out to me personally, or Rachel@glamourgals.org. Send me an email.
She gave her email in the
I
YouTube
did.
and we'll link all of her contact information below. And if you have any questions or comments about, you know, being passionate about working in nonprofits, please comment below. But thanks for joining us, and I'll see you guys next week.